Their economy just overtook Japan. It's the richest subnational economy in the world, and if it were a country, it'll be fourth, just behind the US, China, and Germany, with an astonishing $4.1 trillion in GDP. Thanks to its tech powerhouses, creative industries, and global trade, people have long flocked to this part of the world chasing the American dream in the hopes of living like royalty. But visit this beautiful, sunny Golden State, and soon you'll ask yourself, as I did, is the American dream becoming a nightmare? In this two-part series, buckle up as we explore California's twin engines, Los Angeles and San Francisco. California isn't just LA and SF, but you cannot tell the California story without them. So join me in the front seat and I'll share a bit about how to get there, get around, where to stay, and what to do. And beyond that, we'll also get to know the stories that made it the city that it is today. From stars to cars to the center of the global pop culture and entertainment industry, as well as the busiest port in the Western Hemisphere, the trade gateway to China and the rest of Asia. The City of Angels is more than just a vibe. It's a battleground for what the world's future could look like. I'm a geographer and my dream is to travel the world, tell their stories, and one day build a sustainable hotel. I'm Mickey Eva and this is my travel journal. Welcome to Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, or El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles de Porciúncula, which translates to the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels of Porciúncula. It is the biggest city in California and the second biggest city in the US just after New York. We drove into LA from Coachella via the I-10 freeway. No tolls unless you hit the express lanes, and honestly, it was such a chill ride. Despite some parts having heavy traffic, it is pretty convenient. And before that, we flew out of Palm Springs, which has to be one of the most beautiful, underrated airports I've ever seen. American airports get a bad rap, but not all of them. This was definitely impressive. I love the mixture of indoor and outdoor, and lots of trees and water, given that it is in a desert climate. And of course, if you're flying straight in, LAX is your hub. And from there, all you need is a smartphone, but to book your Uber, Lyft, and maybe a car rental. And walking, nope, not doing that in LA unless it's from the parking lot at In-N-Out. Then probably not. So getting around LA is 99.99999% of the time by car. So Uber and Lyft, install them before you arrive. And did I try the bus or the subway? Nope, because like in Manila, it will easily take double the time if you take public transport. In some cities where it is more efficient, it's probably faster. And because the network is also not extensive enough for us to get from point A to point B across this massive metropolitan area that we call LA, Uber and Lyft has been our go-to. But I did try some unique form of public transportation that is only in LA as far as I know. More on that later on in What to Do in LA. Where to stay in LA? So we stayed at a licensed apart hotel and stayed there for a week, so hotel options would be too expensive for us. We opted for a modern apartment in Koreatown or K-Town, which is at the very center of LA. So places like downtown LA or Hollywood or Beverly Hills are quite close by since it's right in the middle. It is a spacious studio, which could be as big as a one-bedroom. It has amenities like a 24/7 gym, there's a pool, which makes it perfect for longer stays or remote work, has a full kitchen with cutlery and utensils that you can use for cooking, which is completely a lifesaver, especially if you're traveling on a budget. And unless you really need daily hotel service, this setup is my way to go. It's much more homey and budget smart. And that's because we stayed there for a week. However, do note that LA does struggle with a severe housing affordability issue and rising homelessness. So staying at an Airbnb might only help exacerbate this and push out locals. If you're considering more of hotel options from luxury to budget, here are a few that we can recommend. From the more expensive ones, the Beverly Hills Hotel, Dorchester Collection, and then a bit less expensive, the Venice V Hotel near the Venice Beach, really accessible to the beach. One of our favorite chains in the US so far, Citizen M. So there's Citizen M downtown Los Angeles, but we'll talk about downtown area in a bit. And for budget stays, I'd recommend Jameson, Hollywood. Again, all of these hotels and accommodations, you can find the link in the description below. Do check them out and book directly using those links. What to do? I started my trip in downtown LA, which is currently a battleground of the No Kings protests, the peaceful protests against immigrants' deportation by ICE, but also there's been a lot of looting, graffiti, unhoused population staying in downtown LA. So let me start off with the Disney Concert Hall. So this is designed by one of the great architects in history, Frank Gehry. Walking along downtown LA at night at around 9 or 10 p.m. in this part of downtown LA or DTLA, I did feel safe, but again, this is the more touristy and very central part. And I walked down towards Mocha, where I stumbled upon the Angel's Flight, which is the world's shortest railway at around 298 feet. It was built in 1901, and you get to go up and down the Bunker Hill. So I did that from the cultural hub with Mocha down to the Broad, down to the hill, and the street with the historic core. And funny thing about this is, like, the lady at the ticket booth told me the ticket's only $1 and it doesn't include VAT or the extra tax. And she said it's the best deal in town, and I absolutely agree. So walking around the historic core, I passed through the Grand Central Market. It was almost closing, but I could already feel the energy and the buzz. There are many different options for food at the Grand Central Market. And in this historic core, you stumble upon some of the great theaters that have been crucial in, LA's entertainment industry and the film industry in general. And they also have parts of DTLA or the historic core to be pedestrianized every once in a while for like a street market or events, which gives it a lot of life and draws in a lot of visitors into this area. But where I was really going was Little Tokyo, where we enjoyed, a bowl of really good ramen at a pretty reasonable price, considering California cost of living. And it was pretty good. And this part of town is still quite lively, even quite late at night. And other than Little Tokyo, which has been an area of not just Japanese restaurants, but actual Japanese families and immigrants coming here all the way from Japan, but also in near this part of LA, near the downtown, our Koreatown, and the historic Filipino town as well. So we do have a lot of these areas in here. To freshen up from like a busy day or to just be able to see some nature in the city, this is actually my favorite part of LA, the Griffith Observatory, which is a free observatory that's open to the public. So the observatory is situated in a sprawling area. It was actually larger than New York's Central Park, and this was a donation by a wealthy Colonel Griffith for people to be able to stroll around for free. And I definitely love that this area is easily accessible to all Angelinos, all visitors, rich or poor, because we all deserve access to nature and stare at the stars. Maybe Colonel Griffith had the vision of, people being able to see the stars, as in, the night sky. And also from here, you can see the Hollywood sign, which is a reminder to anyone visiting LA that it kind of welcomes you and that you're in the land where the dreams can come true. At this time though, I weren't able to go into the observatory itself because they said they were filming on location, so it's been closed off completely, but I did not waste any time. I went around, did a bit of a hike, a bit of a walk, going down the hill. It's not a strenuous walk at all, it's very paved. I was glad to be able to see the Hollywood sign from the Griffith Observatory and Park. The next one is, speaking of the Hollywood sign, the Hollywood Boulevard is quintessentially LA, but it is the touristy side. You'd see here the Walk of Fame, you'll see stars like those we've seen from Missy Elliott, Red Hot Chili Peppers, DJ Khaled, and so many more. The TCL Chinese Theater as well is a pretty good landmark. Yeah, I think this area is quite lively, but also there's other places in LA that are far more interesting, to be honest. Beverly Hills. Everyone knows Beverly Hills, quite a rich neighborhood. If you are into shopping, check out Rodeo Drive, lots of luxury shops. And this is also the thing about LA. It's a bit similar with Manila, wherein you've got pockets of really nice areas, obviously resided in by like wealthy families, really manicured gardens. But outside, you'll see that urban sprawl isn't doing really great. Like, you have these nice gated subdivisions and villages. However, the outside just isn't being prioritized. But yeah, Beverly Hills. Don't expect to see any Hollywood stars here though as well, but yeah, it's pretty good. One of the more famous and prestigious hotels in LA is situated right across the Rimowa store, the Beverly Hills Dorchester Collection Hotel. So pretty good, check that out. And of course, LA is not complete without Venice Beach and the Santa Monica Pier. Do come here for a nice stroll during the day or at night. The Muscle Beach as well, so pretty good if you want to work out outdoors or just appreciate the nice weather. Arnold Schwarzenegger was seen to be working out during the early days of his career here at Muscle Beach, so it's a pretty iconic LA spot as well. So I'd say Venice Beach, Santa Monica Pier, and Muscle Beach. If you only have a few days in LA, maybe choose one of these three. To be honest, the beach isn't the best in the world, but it's got a pretty good LA vibe as well. So other things to do in LA include the nightlife and entertainment. So one of the most visited sites in the LA area is the Universal Studios and Disneyland. So the original Disneyland park in Anaheim, California is the pioneer or the very first Disneyland park in the world. So you can see not just the amusement park and rides, but also the set where some of these films were actually shot or filmed. So Universal Studios is just pure adrenaline rush or a great place for movie lovers. But for something that's more mature, or if you exhausted all your time in theme parks or you don't have kids anymore, you can also explore LA's great nightlife. We went to Academy LA on Hollywood Boulevard that brings in top DJs from all over the world. And then there's also West Hollywood, or WeHo, which is the gay LGBT area in LA, quite famously known for it. Also from pop culture, so for example, I'm Gonna Keep on Dancing in West Hollywood by Chaperone, Pink Pony Club. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure you probably heard of it. In West Hollywood, it is literally the center of gay culture in LA. We visited Chapel, like Chaperone, and the Abbey. So you can see some of the famous drag queens here in LA, get some great music, enjoy a night out, whether that's in Hollywood Boulevard or in WeHo or in West Hollywood. And of course, as the capital of the pop culture and music industry of the world, of course, there's live music and concerts to go to whenever you're in LA. So LA doesn't just host concerts, but it throws in cultural moments. For example, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour started in LA. We went to the concert at the SoFi Stadium, super iconic. It's the same stadium that was built for LA to host the 2024 Olympics, but obviously that did not happen. We also got to try out Coachella Arts and Music Festival. It is about 2 hours away from LA, or you can fly directly through the Palm Springs Airport, which we did. It is the biggest pop music festival in the world, where we got to see Lady Gaga, with also her first show for the Mayhem album or the Mayhem Ball World Tour. So the Coachella this year that we went to, it featured headliners from Lady Gaga to Green Day, Post Malone, and Travis Scott, with really cool standout performances also by Ed Sheeran, Zedd, Blackpink's Lisa and Jennie, Charlie XCX, Tyla, Benson Boone, and Hypen. So those were all really cool acts that I saw. It was amazing. And we're actually planning on doing a video on a comparison of the concerts and shows that we watched in the US, including Coachella, Beyonce, and a few others, including the cost of the tickets and traveling and staying in the city. We're thinking of comparing these concerts from Coachella, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, EDC in Vegas. So comment down below if that's something that you'd like to see. And speaking of pricing, if you want to save, you can book concert tickets on Klook as well. Use the discount code MickeyEvaKlook for 5% discount. And a bit of that also goes into supporting this channel without any additional cost for you. So I'd really appreciate that if you can do that as well. And lastly, one of the unique kind of things that we did, and we just took the opportunity to do that, is going to a private DJ class. So we went to this DJing class in Orange County, about an hour away from downtown LA or Koreatown where we were staying. We just had so much fun learning. So it was from this guy who teaches and runs a non-profit, right, to teach LA kids to DJ, and hopefully that gives them, an opportunity in the scene. So it's pretty cool because me and my partner went there and we just love electronic dance music. That's why we were so interested. And then I booked this via Airbnb. It costs about $200 per person. I'll share the link in the chat as well if you're interested. So yeah, we really enjoyed this course. It's very interactive. It's very intimate. He hosted it in his place. Yeah, so definitely recommend that if you're into EDM and DJing. LA was built on cars and stars, but both are starting to stall. Its legendary car culture now clogs the city with traffic and is affecting the city's air pollution and air quality, while other countries race ahead with public transit. Sure, LA is finally investing in metros and high-speed rail, but is it a little too late? Box offices revenues are down, audiences are tuning out, and workers, writers, and actors just ended a historic strike in LA's entertainment industry. It is facing a plot twist of its own. The system has been feeding a few while starving its storytellers. Then there's the Port of LA, North America's busiest, and for decades it powered the American economy. But now it's entangled in trade wars with Asia, with surging tariffs causing as much as 35% drop in cargo shipments, which has been said to be worse than the Great Recession or even COVID. But this time, it's self-inflicted. Not to forget the affordability crisis that I've mentioned earlier, and a growing unhoused population in LA standing at over 70,000 people. That's where No Kings comes in. It's not just a protest, it's a declaration. A rebellion against the hoarding of power, against systems that profit off people's pain. You'll see it tagged on walls and shouted on the streets. No kings, no landlords, no gatekeepers, no elites. It's a cry for homes, for dignity, for a future owned by the many and not just a few. Is LA then the new Detroit? Will America's second city and the city that's most connected with Asia be the first to fall? We don't know yet, but one thing's for sure, it's fighting back. Built around the boom of the auto industry, LA is designed for cars. From freeways to drive-thrus to the Chicano lowrider car culture. But LA still feels like the future in motion. Angelinos are resilient, adaptable, and creative. So resilient that they recently survived a huge fire. From firefighters to ordinary Americans, we saw neighbors turned heroes. So adaptable that LA has made a name for itself, it's now reinventing itself. America was Europe's China, mass-producing everything thanks to Ford's assembly line. But now the roles have reversed. But Lucid, Rivian, and a few others are here to compete. So creative that, well, one of the best ways California's done that is this. Yeah, sure, media and entertainment are facing some challenges, but Hollywood isn't dying. California's been helping democratize media. It's paving the way to greater access to global audiences like you and opportunities for creators and dreamers like me. If it leverages its position as America's most connected city to Asia, instead of being penalized for it, maybe LA is not the next Detroit. Maybe California is the new Germany. And maybe it might even surpass it as the third biggest economy in the world and can go head to head with China. LA will succeed again the same way it has, by looking after its people. From the Native Americans that migrated from Asia centuries ago, to the Latino, Mexican, and other hardworking immigrant communities who serve as the backbone of its economy today, by serving those people and not kings. The California dream isn't dead. We just need to wake up from grand delusions of royalty and work hard on making it a reality. With America's future on the line, the only thing that might be able to go head-to-head with Made in China is Made in California. Instead of polarizing, let's try to support a global community. And for Americans, maybe reach out to allies, particularly the Philippines, Japan, or South Korea. So I hope we're able to provide more entertainment and education through our platforms right here on YouTube, which was born in California. More on that in part 2. And we hope you continue to support us. You can buy me a coffee through the link below, and that really goes a long way. If this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Comment down below, is LA still the American dream? Are its best days behind it and has become a nightmare? Let me know down below. Next up, we talk about inequality, immigration, and innovation, and what the future of America might look like through the streets of San Francisco. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. We'll be posting that next week, so do subscribe so you get notified when I upload a video. And again, I appreciate it very much, and I thank you for the support and any kind of engagement. It really goes a long way.